Hey guys, today we've got one of our customers' shop truck in here. It's an 09 F-150, and we're gonna breathe a little bit of life into it by installing our U-bar headlights on it. So let's check out the headlights and see what we got going on. Okay, so right out of the box, what you're gonna notice is obviously we have our U-bar styling. We have a projector low beam, a high beam, and the turn signal and parking light area down here. If you look on the side, we have the reflector and 3 LEDs up here that work. These ones down here do not. Now, if we go on to the back side, you'll see everything's pretty simple on this one. We have a connection here that will reuse the stock 194 socket. This right here will plug into your headlight socket, which will operate your low beam and your high beam. And then right here, you'll remove this just like this, and that's where your turn signal parking light socket will go. So also in the box, you will get a set of instructions. Very easy. There's only 3 bolts that hold these in. Shouldn't take you any more than about 10 minutes or so per side. The tools that we'll need for this is a 3/8 ratchet, an extension, long or short, and a 10mm socket. Okay, so in order to remove the headlights, what we're gonna need to do is obviously pop up the hood, and everything's accessible from right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove these top 2 bolts here, and there's a bolt on the side. So we'll get a closer look at that. Okay, so the bolts that we're gonna remove is this one, and if you pull back this flap, most of the time you have a little pin right here that holds it in. This one's obviously torn, it's an old truck. So you pull this back, and it's fairly dirty too. So most older trucks will be. We have this bolt right here. So we just use our 10mm. Okay, so once we've removed all these bolts, all you're gonna do is just grab right in here on this side and just set your hand on the outside of the headlight. That way, as you wiggle it free, you can get it to pop out like that. So once you do that, you just pull it straight out, and you'll see we're gonna need to reuse this one. So just untwist that one. Typically the headlight bulb is plugged in, but this one, there was some other issues with it that we got all hammered out earlier this morning. So that's why this one's unplugged, but typically this would you just push in here and pull out, and it comes out. On this one, what we're gonna do is we need to reuse this socket as well. So sometimes these 194s could be a little tricky to get out, but that's all you gotta do is just pull it straight out. Set that off to the side, and if your truck is as dirty as this one, I would always suggest cleaning it. That way, you know, you have a clean truck. Other than that, you're ready to put the new one in and go about your business. Okay, so now that we've got the old light removed, we're gonna wanna install our new one. And as you can see, it's nice and brand new. Very clear lens, not like the old yellow one. So all we're gonna do is pull this harness back up, set this one outside like this. On the back side here, we already removed our sticker. So what we're gonna do is take this and just line it up and twist it in, just like that. Now, this is the time what you wanna do is you wanna inspect your gaskets. This is an older truck, so a lot of times the gaskets are worn out or they don't create a really good seal anymore. So you either wanna replace them, or if they make enough contact within the housing, you want to just use some lithium grease right around the gasket. That way when it mates to the housing, it's going to create a really good seal. So for the main headlight bulb, we just take our connector and the stock one, push it in really good. It should click, or you should at least feel it click. And then this last one is this one over here. So let me turn this so we can see this. We have this red and black wire with this 194 connector on the end here. So what you're gonna wanna do is, if you're if you look at these, one side is black, one side is purple. The purple is going to be your positive side, so you just want to line that up and plug it in just like that. Once you've done that, you can just feed it back into the housing, and this will, as long as you line it up correctly, will drop right in. Just like that, and then twist. So now once you've done that, we can line this back up. And you just slide it right back in how you pulled it out. So you have a couple locators on the side that you'll need to line up. You want to check your gaps. Older vehicles, you know, a lot of time in the manufacturing process, there's a lot of forgiveness here anymore on these. It's anywhere from an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch difference between vehicles. So if you notice a little bit more gap, it's okay. It's not gonna hurt anything, but they're not all like this is the thing. So some of them fit real flush, some of them don't. It's just the differences in the bodies from the manufacturer. Once you've got your headlight back on the vehicle, you just take your 3 bolts and reinstall them just like you took them out. Always start them by hand. That way you don't cross thread anything, and then you either have to run a tap through it or get some new bolts or something. So I always start all my bolts by hand and then take the ratchet. So once this is done, after you've got both headlights in, you're gonna need to aim them. So the best way to do that is parking your vehicle on a level surface, or if you're doing it in your driveway, mark out your stock ones beforehand. That way you can re-level them to what you had. If you didn't do that, I always suggest, local parking lot, maybe like a grocery store or warehouse. If you have something local to you, go park facing a wall on a level surface. Parking lots are typically level, and 20 feet from the front of the headlight. So from right here to the wall, and then your beam should be about 2.5 feet up on the wall. Okay, so right here, if you look in between both of your screws here, if you look down this channel, there's a Phillips head. It's a gold screw. That's gonna be your adjustment, okay? And then if you look right here, it has a U and a D with arrows. That's for up and down adjustment. So all you use is a Phillips screwdriver and twist it either way that you need it.